What's up, otakus? I just picked up some books. Um, I'm going live. I tend to when I like do a comic haul. I know some people like maybe can wait a day or maybe consolidate books. Like if they're expecting to receive some books, they have some books that they picked up. Just for video content's sake, just showing you maybe like recent books they picked up, right? I'm not that kind of person. I'm more like if I pick something up, I'll show it to you right away because that's the way I am. And I think on a few occasions I've done things where I knew something was coming in, so I might wait a day or kind of wait till things come in. But generally, when I'm out and about and I get stuff, I'm usually quick to just go on live and show it off to you guys. So today we went, today's Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. Hopefully everybody got the day off and did something special with their family. I was hoping to do that, but my wife made plans with, again, her friend. And they went strawberry picking today. And apparently, like none of the dads were invited or anything. So it was just like a mom and kids affair. So I got to pretty much do whatever I wanted today. And I thought, man, it's been a minute since I've been to Milky Comics. And, Russ was at the shop today, which was nice because I got to talk to him a little bit. There's another guy, and my apologies, I never really caught his name. I've talked to the guy on multiple occasions. He works there. He's really passionate about comic books and very knowledgeable fellow. But we had a nice conversation about Superman and all. Like he was recommending me DC books I should be reading or things that Superman books that he thought was cool. So we had a nice little chat. And I dug through those. I dug through a lot of stuff today because normally I just dig through the 50-cent bins, which we did. But we were being very, very selective about what we would get. I mean, there's a bunch of Superman, Death of Superman, Return of Superman kind of arc issues there that I'm still going to pick up. But they weren't like a priority. I didn't have to like get them all today. I just figured they're there. A lot of them are newsstand copies, and I'll just pick them up whenever we have like bandwidth. And anticipating we'll have, my wife's gonna leave me probably with like I'm gonna try to get $200 from her for the summer, but we'll see. It's ultimately up to her. And she's going to Japan. I'm sure she'll be in a very like, all right, you're going to be bored this summer without the family, so here's $200. Go crazy. I think she's of the opinion that she doesn't necessarily want me to work part time to have like extra money for comic books. I think I don't know, she just thinks I can be more like that's not the best use of my time. So in terms of if it's okay to just get $200 to spend this summer, I think she's leaning toward that. Although I haven't said like 200. She did ask me though, what are you planning to spend in Japan on like stuff you want to pick up? And I said 300 should be good. And that was kind of, I thought, the budget for the summer. But the more and more I think about it, the more and more I realize like I don't really necessarily want a lot of manga stuff. And I was watching Simple Simon's video yesterday, and apparently there's a lot of like cool action figures that are only sold in Japan. So we may look for like a Superman figure or something. related to that. I don't know. There's just a lot of things. I know Superman's not popular in Japan. Maybe it will be when I go this summer, but there's a lot of like older Superman stuff there that's like, I'm sure, just not very expensive. Like, and it's Japanese, like from like the 80s and stuff, like a lot of Japanese language type Superman um, toys and whatnot. So, and I know I'm gonna get some comics, like Japanese international comics for my boy Fanboy. I'm going to be on the lookout for that. So we're going to try to hit up some comic book shops, but I just really don't have any time. It's a very tight trip, and as I've told you, I might not even have to. I mean, I have to meet my friends the first couple nights I'm there, and I don't know if I'll have bandwidth to actually just go and do stuff. Um, because I land in Japan, I spend one day where I'm going to meet my friends. The next day, I'm on a flight to Korea. I'm in Korea for 3 days, and it's just all with my parents and maybe a few really close friends I'm going to meet up with. But I'm in Korea, for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday I leave. So about 3 days in Korea, and then I get to Japan Thursday, afternoonish, and I'm gonna head all the way to my wife's hometown, where I'm staying with my in-laws. And so Friday, Saturday is gonna be spent with the family and again close friends up where she lives. And then Sunday I'm on a plane back. So it's like a lot of just traveling. And again, I don't know how much time I'll have to actually, given that itinerary, I don't have any time to visit comic book shops and whatnot, unfortunately. But I'm hoping right now, it looks like I have plans Sunday night in Tokyo when I arrive. And it's for the evening. So I'm thinking if I have any chance of getting anything in Tokyo, it'll be that morning to afternoon. So I know we're meeting up in Shibuya, which is good. But I have to decide if I'm going to go to Akihabara, which is where I think one of the comic book shops is, or if I'm going to, I think it's Nihonbashi. No, it's Ikebukuro, or I'm going to go to Ikebukuro. No, where is it? Yeah, it's Ikebukuro. I have to go to Ikebukuro, where the other comic book shop is. And I guess the positive thing is they're all along the same rail line, the Yamanote Green Line. So technically, I could just go there in the morning. Hey, Kenneth, what's up? Nice of you to join. So technically, I could just go to Ikebukuro in the morning when the business is open and do some shopping there, and then head to my thing in the evening. I could even, if I'm really like good with time, hit up Ikebukuro, then Akihabara, and then come all the way back around to Shinjuku. Because again, it's on a circular loop line. It would just be like, boom, Ikebukuro in the morning, eat lunch in Akihabara, get more comics there, and then head to my dinner appointment that evening. The other issue is my hotel is near the airport, so I have to calculate the amount of time it would take to take a train back to my hotel. So I can't, usually when my friends and I drink, we're just drinking all night. We're not drinking till last train, right? Last train is usually like midnight. And so we usually try to drink till the last train. But this time around, um, also, I just can't handle my alcohol like I used to. This time around, I'm just going to maybe call it a night around 10. Um, so we'll start as early as possible. We'll try to start like 4 p.m. or something, right? Just start drinking and eating around 4 p.m. This way we get a good, good, there's a spot it's our spot. I don't think it's there anymore, which is sad. This is a spot my friends and I used to just frequent. So from what I hear, it's not there anymore, but I'm sure they have some new spot we'll go to, but we'll go there. Hey, Tyler, what's up? Um, and that will be that one night, that short period window, um, where I'll be able to buy comics or do something, right? And then I'll be getting drunk later that night. So I'll have like a bunch of comic books with me as I'm like eating and drinking, and hopefully I catch a train early enough to get back to my hotel. And then the next day I'm on a flight to Korea. So very tight schedule. I will have a little bit of leeway in my wife's hometown because I'll be spending like Thursday night, all of Friday, all of Saturday, and then Sunday I have to head back to Tokyo to fly back to the US. So I'm thinking Saturday, the morning to afternoon, because we'll have probably, well, I just don't know what the plans are going to be. But somewhere along the lines, I want to hit up a used bookstore in my wife's hometown where it's not a really populated, there's not a lot of people in that area. And the used bookstore will probably have a lot of stuff, but it'll be like probably cheap, and who knows what we'll find. I'm just hoping to find some good, like old, like magazines, collectibles of some kind, just anything, that has like American or Japanese pop culture stuff in it. And we'll just manga too, like they'll have old issues of manga. So just kind of whatever catches the eye, and we'll just pick up some stuff. But yeah, I don't think it'll be a lot. Um, so I've got, again, $300 in Tokyo that I can spend, and I want to have like $200 for comics this summer. Which, if I end up, it all just depends on what my wife will agree to before she leaves. I haven't even proposed like, hey, can you leave me $200? No, I haven't even proposed that yet, but that's the plan. All right, so let's get to my comic book haul. You guys are here waiting patiently. I went to Mill Geek Comics today, and we spent a good day there. Opened at noon, was there at noon. Kind of got out of the shop around 4-ish, 4:30-ish. And again, we just dug through everything, dug through all the 50-cent bins, dug through a lot of the $3 bins, and dug through most of the sort of, under $10 bins. There's, Russ has got it separated into over $10, under $10, $3, 50 cents. And I hear he might even be doing quarter bins soon, which is good. I hope he does do quarter bins, or at least like make the $3 bins a dollar bin, and then make the 50-cent bins, a quarter bin. That would really, I think, get people to buy more over there. But he does have a lot of good stuff in the 50-cent bin still for that price. So I'm just hoping, as long as he maintains that, I'll continue to go there and buy stuff. Anyway, I wasn't, I had $5 in my pocket going up there, $5 cash. And I kind of tried to finagle a couple more dollars out of my wife this morning, um, but she just didn't. I said, "Do you have any cash?" She's like, "No, why? Are you going to buy comics?" And I said, "Well, I've got nothing else to do." And she kind of gave me this look like, "No, you're not buying comics." So I just didn't push the issue, didn't ask for money. We had $5 cash. I ended up buying these comics with my card because it ended up being more than $5. Um, and she knew I had $5. So um, anyway, it ended up being more than $5. And so we used our card, and then I gave her all the cash when I got home. And we'll see. She kind of was like, "Man, you just could not spend, like, keep the spending under $5." I was like, "Yeah, there's a book here that wouldn't allow me to do that." And there's a lot of value in this haul, and one of it's just kind of like a book I've been kind of wanting to get. Um, and so anyway, 3 books, $5, or sorry, 3 books, $6. And I will say I have to scrounge up another dollar because there's a book right now at Sten Brothers. Sten Brothers is this small, like, toy comic shop here in Kirkland, Washington, and they only open on Saturdays. So I went there last Saturday just to dig through, see what they had, and I left there with my $5 intact because I was like, I kind of want to see what Mill Geek has before I pull the trigger on anything. And there's just one book that's been kind of like eating at me, like, I should have picked that book up. I should have picked that book up. So um, it's a book that's there, which we'll pick up. It's in the dollar bin. It's a dollar bin book. But man, is it like, the more and more I thought about it, it's like, man, the more and more I have to have that book. There's another $5 book in there, a Neil Adams book that I think when we have, like, again, the $200 to spend, I'll probably pick that one up too. But that place has a lot of good stuff. It's just not, well, the $1 bin book that's there, I really want to pick up because I feel like it's just a nice book. It's just like, it's a collector's kind of book. Like, it's a book that collectors would want to have in their PC. There's nothing key about it. It's just a great cover buy. And so that's what I'm going to go back for. So I need to scrounge up one additional dollar to go there, pick that book up, and I'll show that off probably um, on Saturday when we do Double Tiger again. All right. So we dug and dug, and I pulled out a lot of stuff. Actually, I just pulled out because you pull it out. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to buy it, right? So there's a lot of good stuff there. Like, where if I was in my past kind of buying mode with cash, probably would have picked up a good chunk of stuff. But these days we're being very, very, like, very, very picky, very, very selective. Things we're actually just gonna, like, keep in the collection, or things that have, like, high value. And so that's kind of what we did here. And the book of the haul is actually a book that's been on my radar and want list for quite some time. In fact, you go back to all the videos where I've done, like, this is our want list, like, kind of prep for the summer cons and all that. It's a book that's consistently been on what I'm going to pick up this summer, right? And I just never got around to pulling the trigger. I've had few close encounters, but never. I mean, Sten Brothers had the book. They wanted 30 for it. I could have probably talked them down to 25. But I'm glad I didn't pull the trigger then, because I'm really happy with this copy and the price that we got it. So, like, it just clues you into, like, There's a copy that I could have paid 25 for, but instead we paid $5 for that. So that is our book of the haul. It's a $5 book, and then two 50-cent books, so a dollar for or 50 cents for two books. Sorry, a dollar for two books, and then a $5 book. So we'll start with the two 50-cent books first. We picked up Action Comics 691, and I think I mentioned maybe in a previous video I wanted to pick up more from this series, but more specifically, I want to kind of pick up Cyborg Superman covers, and this is just a great cover of, like, outside of the Eradicator, it's like the three new Supermen that are super characters that are in this one. So we got a new stand of this great Shattered Steel in the Superman book. You got Superman in the black suit. Again, they're just I wanted to get this one just because of the Cyborg Superman on the cover. There's a couple more Cyborg Superman covers that I want to get, but this one's cool because it's Butch Guy's cover, right? Jackson Guy's cover. Yeah, and it's a newsstand, so pick that up for 50 cents. That was good. All right. The next book is, when I got this, again, the guy working at Mill Geek was like, wow, great find. He's just like, that's a really good find. And I agree. I mean, it's probably a fine copy. It's a fine, it's a fine copy, mid-grade, solid mid-grade. No, nothing crazy in terms of damage or creasing or anything. It's, again, with a clean and a press, it would look fantastic. So, it does have a little bit of a corner crease now that I'm looking at it intently. It's pretty long too, but either way, it's still, for 50 cents, it's still a great pickup. It's this, I already have a copy too. This is my second copy of Uncanny X-Men 205. This is a key issue. Just got this great Barry Windsor Smith art of, sort of Weapon X, adamantium experimentation types cover art here. Again, fine copy. This is just one of those things, like, when you run into something like this, you just have to pick it up, because for 50 cents, you can't leave it there, right? And again, like, it's in pretty decent. I mean, it's got this corner. It's got a corner crease right here, which you can probably see. Right there, you see the line right there. But all in all, it's decent. Looks good. So yeah, those were the 50-cent books. Now here's the book that, again, it's been on my list for forever, and I just I knew I wanted to pick this up at some point, but I just was like, it'll come to me when it comes. I didn't need to get a high grade copy of this. I just wanted to get a decent grade at a good price, and that's what we got today. Not that it's a decent grade, but it's all I need it to be is, like, decent, and it's low grade, but it's a decent low grade. And this is definitely, Roger, if you're watching, what's up? Sten Brothers It's in Kirkland. Yeah, I think I'm not sure the exact street number it's on, but it's it's like on top of like an auto body shop. So I think it just rents out. The auto body shop isn't open on Saturdays for some reason. So they just kind of do business when the auto shop isn't open. But yeah, so yeah, this book again, it's low grade, but this is a book, Roger. If you're watching, this is gonna come your way during our next, check in, and has a lot of potential for improvement here, especially when Roger gets a hold of this. I think this kind of book is just it's in dire need of a press and a good cleaning, and it should. The other issues you can't do, but it'll just make it look so much better. Um, but I am so happy to have this book finally in my collection because it's one of my favorite covers of all time. Um, this is like peak X Men when I was uh, getting into X Men, and this is right around that time where I was um, collecting, reading, and just enjoying this era of X Men content. The Long Shot, the Havoc era, the pre Psylocke. That's Betsy Braddock, where she was like a snowflake of the team and all that. The Dazzler, right? The Dazzler, uh, when she was a member of the team. And what we have is the first appearance of Mr. Sinister. And we have, yes, Uncanny X-Men. What is this? 221. Mark Silvestri goodness here. Havoc just laying into Wolverine. Absolutely iconic cover here. Newsstand copy. And again, low grade. Its staples, I think, are popped. So there may be, I know the bottom one here is popped. This one still looks to be okay, but it's to a point where it's, it's hanging on its very last thread as well. And then you've got all the like creasing here. I'll try to give you yeah, you can see it just is in need of a press. I don't know if you can see that. There's just a lot of little micro, like right there. There's a great, see, that's just, so with a press, that'll just kind of resolve itself. It's not really color breaking. There's like color breaks here and there. And it's got some staining here on the corner as well. Got some staining there that can be cleaned up. Staining on the X-Men itself. You see a little bit of maybe foxing or something there. But man, for $5, I'll take this all freaking day long. And this is just one of those issues. Like I was like, I got to have the issue because I could care less about the art, the fact that it's a first appearance. I do care that it's a first appearance, but for me, it was more about like this is just one of those like books that I consider part of the, just a book that because I read it, because I had it as a kid, because I covet Mark Silvestri's artwork from this period. It's just always been a book that, yeah, I have to have it in the collection. And the barrier to getting this in the collection was because it's like, near mint. It's like a $75 to $100 book. More so kind of in demand when, apocalypse stuff is like kind of, sorry, not Mr. Sinister stuff is like kind of like top of mind for a lot of people. So luckily we're in kind of like a Mr. Sinister lull, might you say? Right, right. Definitely great era of X-Men. Yeah, for $5, I gotta say, like when I saw this, I was just like, because I'm always on the lookout for this book. And again, I saw a copy for $30. It was like a VF minus maybe for $30, maybe a fine plus. And I thought, yeah, that's a good price for that. And I was, at the time I didn't have the money, so I just left it there. But I was always in the back of my mind, like we could always go back, get that, and try to get it for like $5 less, so $25, right? Which for like a VF copy would have been, or like a fine plus copy would have been a really great deal. This one is like, I mean, I want to say it would be like I think the staple pop part is what makes it really low grade. If the staples were attached, just given all the issues on this book, we're looking at like a, VG plus for sure. There's just a lot of little micro creasing, color breaks here and there, spine ticks up and down, but overall, it's like decent shape. Like it presents well. I'll give you a closer look. And again, with the press, it would just because I'm going to show you, kind of give you an idea what. I don't know if you can see in the light there, but there's a lot of like it just needs a press. It's just a comic book that's been loved. Just a lot of little, but absolutely like in terms of its visibility and presentability, it's all there. So yeah, uh, very happy to pick up this low grade copy. Again, Mill Geek. What I like about Russ is this is a very fair price, right, for what it is. Um, and that's the thing. Like he takes grade into account. He takes, and he'll still give you a good deal. Like this is technically like book price $5, but I could see a lot of people being able to sell this maybe for like $10, right? Um, versus sticking to like what its actual low grade price is. So yeah, um, that was a nice. What's up, fanboy? All right. Hope I'm keeping you. I'll just be like the radio. I'll be like soothing music in your ear. All right. So those are the three books. I mean, these are all. Again, I'm just really happy about this one. This is one that I've been meaning to add for a long time. These are just nice little extras. Again, 50 cents each for these. Um, all in all, pretty good haul, I would say. You know, and then again, I'm going to get that additional book. It's a dollar bin book. I'm just going to go for that $1 one. Sorry, that one book um, with $1 in cash to get, and that'll be this weekend. So we're going to pick up one more. I have to scrounge up change or do something right now. Make sure I have right now 30 cents. So I just need to scrounge up 70 more cents and we'll have that book. In fact, I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to pick up 70 cents, but we'll scrounge it up somewhere. Or we'll just, yeah, we'll just get it via card for $1 if it comes to that. But either way, that book is coming home with me. If it's still there, we got to check. But again, it was last week when I left the book there. And I'm going back the very following week. So I'm just thinking no one's going to pick it up between then and now or this weekend. So that is it. A nice short and sweet haul video. Now, Fanboy and I are going to be streaming Otaku Weekly next Friday. And we're going to do a special Superman episode. We're just going to talk shop uh, on Superman, and we haven't really discussed like what we're going to discuss. Um, but given his love for Superman, given my love for Superman, we're going to land somewhere and talk the shit out of Superman, basically. Um, I'm sure we'll talk movies. I'm sure we'll talk, uh, Death of Superman, the '90s books. We'll talk, you know, collection, right? He has an incredible Superman collection. Um, One of the most, like dedicated um, collections that I've ever seen. Um, so it'll be a good time. So tune into that. It'll be next weekend, right? The 20th. Or no, is that this weekend? Did we say this weekend? Shoot, is that tomorrow? B, did we agree to do it tomorrow? I gotta look at the text message. All right, it might be tomorrow. It's either gonna be tomorrow. Yeah, it's tomorrow. It is tomorrow. Right, it's tomorrow. So we need to talk. I'll check. I'm gonna send you a text after this, and we'll talk about what we're gonna chat about. But I'll create the link uh, today so that we have it for tomorrow. And yeah, join us tomorrow night for Otaku Weekly. Again, special Superman episode with Fanboy Prime in the house, and we'll go from there. Uh, yeah, it is tomorrow. We agreed to the 20th, I believe. So that should be fun. Again, Superman movies coming up. Got my tickets. Go out and get your tickets. Support this movie, please. I just want to see Superman at the forefront of pop culture again. So, I mean, he already is there. By all looks and by all intents and purposes, like I think the movie is already kind of going to be a success this summer. A lot of buzz, a lot of hype around it, a lot of people talking about it. Like when like people who aren't fans are talking about Superman, I mean, that's a telltale sign, right? So I've been hearing a lot of people, again, not Superman fans, but they're talking like, I'm excited to see it. So that's always a good thing. All right. Well, thanks for joining, guys. Go Mariners. No KC, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.